Hey guys, what is up? Navy Boy here. Devils get the win 3-2 in regulation, barely over the Vancouver Canucks. Basically, what I mean is we barely got the win over the Sedin Twins, but we got the win, and that's what counts. Overall, this game was a bit crazy. It got out of hand in a couple of places, I think. And actually, I think those two events bookended those moments. And we're going to talk about that in detail later because it's an opinion I have about how the game was officiated. But right now, we're just going to talk about how the game was scored, and that does involve going a little bit into detail about that stuff, but not very much, because overall, we need to just address the scoring. So, first period gets kicked off. Early on, we've got the rush. We're pushing hard. We've got control of the game, and bam! Taylor Hall picks up a rebound, toe drags around the defenseman, around the two teammates blocking the net, and boom, fires that thing in there. That's a goal right there, so we're up 1-0. Now, a little bit later, Travis Zajac, applying the forecheck, gets boarded by Chaput, who is a young player for the Vancouver Canucks. No call is made in the boarding incident, at least not a boarding call. Turns around, John Moore goes to defend his teammate, obviously going after the guy who boarded Travis Zajac. Travis Zajac now, as we learned now, later tonight, has a broken nose, but at the time was obviously just cut from his shield coming down and hitting him in the nose when he went face on into the boards. That going on and continuing, we end up in a moment of just an odd moment of like the refs are trying to sort out what happened. You end up with John Moore having a 5-minute major for fighting, a 2-minute for instigation, and a 10-minute game misconduct. A 10-minute misconduct, not a game misconduct. A little bit different. So at the end of it all, John Hines argues the call, as you do as a coach, says one word as he comes over the bench, as he's stepping over. You can see he's angry. He's obviously going to be angry after those calls, not getting a boarding call, especially the conditions Zajac was in leaving the ice, and immediately gets a unsportsmanlike conduct call, which is unbelievable that they gave him an unsportsmanlike there. It's just like, what I immediately said to myself was, if at any time the Vancouver coach argues a call and nothing is called, that's unacceptable, because it's bad officiating. So right then, even the arena was just like a negative sphere around those refs. When they came back on for the start of the second, because now we're on a 5-on-3 power, they're on a 5-on-3 power play and we're defending, they got booed so loud, it was unbelievable just how loud they got booed. But going into the second period, we're on a 5-on-3 kill. We killed off a lot of it. 19 seconds remaining. Daniel Sedin, they got the give-and-go pass really working, and Daniel Sedin gets his goal. 1-1. It's going to happen, but I'm proud that we managed to kill off up to only 20 seconds remaining in a 5-on-3. That's unbelievable that we managed to do that. Our penalty kill has really been on it. Game plays on a little while. Kyle Palmieri gets a goal on a give-and-go, which is good. And then you have, obviously, Ben Lovejoy getting his first goal as a Devil. I'm very excited about that getting started. And then we go to the third period. The Canucks get another goal. It's 3-2 now. So we no longer have a 2-goal lead. We're back down to a 1-goal lead, and we are worried. It's not good. We're in our own zone. They really came in the third period. They came on in the third period and really given it to us. And aside from the incident, which we're going to discuss in a minute, I think they held the momentum in our end. Obviously, Mike Camilleri was exhausted at the end of the game. He was hunched over his knees at the end of the game. He was so winded because they couldn't make a line change to save our friggin' lives. So they played like a 2-minute shift, which is unbelievable considering their average shift during the night was like 25 seconds. Now we have to talk about the not fun part of the game, which is, at one point, Larson, a defenseman, a very young defenseman for the Vancouver Canucks, received a pass and turned to go behind his own net to go up ice, going to the right wing to go up ice. And when he turned, he kept his head down, and Taylor Hall, our forward, who was charging in to do the forecheck, hit him. And they hit at a very high rate of speed. It was a very rough collision. It blew Larson to his back, which he hit his head on the ice, which is not the really scariest part of this play. It's not a very good part of this play. He was rendered unconscious by the hit. But it wasn't a dirty hit, I don't think. And that's not just because he's my player. I mean, just the fact that, Hall didn't leave his feet. The general opinion of the hockey subreddit as well as our subreddit has been that it was not a dirty hit. I saw on Twitter that most players, while they said, it was a very hard hit, most people didn't think it was a dirty hit. Obviously, as a Canucks player, you take it as questionable at best because he's your player and you're mad about him being hurt. And nobody likes to see a player get hurt playing hockey, but it happens. I think the thing that concerned me the most about the culture that was created in that moment was this knee-jerk reaction players have to fight, which is they completely ignored the safety of a fellow player laying on the ice, which is that as he's laying unconscious, you have Markstrom and someone whose name I cannot remember, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Two of his players tried to defend him by huddling over him and tried to shield him from players coming in, but obviously they got there a little late. I believe he took almost 4 kicks to the head, skate blades going by at a high rate of speed, sticks falling onto him. a total disregard for the safety of a defenseless player who was unconscious. I don't like it. I don't think it should continue. I think if you're a player who thinks you have to fight just because a hit was delivered, you need to address how you play the game, because you can endanger and harm other players. Because if he had a neck injury or a serious concussion, any kind of bumping or anything like that he just sustained while on the ice could cause serious damage or harm to him in any way that could end his career. But luckily, I think we lucked out, and he just, I think, will probably have a concussion. Even possibly he may have gotten away without a concussion. He may have just been rendered unconscious. But more than likely, that'll come with a concussion with the speed of the impact that he faced tonight. But overall, it sounded like the report from the Vancouver Canucks at the end of the third period was that he was okay, and that he had been conscious and responding to stimuli on the way to the hospital, and that he was fully able to speak and stuff like that. So I think that's the good news we take from tonight, that he should be okay. Obviously, Taylor Hall was shaken up by it. He said he felt bad after the game. During the game, obviously, he focused back on the game, but he said after the game he was thinking about it, and he hoped that he was okay, as they had played together in Edmonton a couple years ago. I'm not going to give an MVP to anyone in this game. I thought we played a good game, but I didn't think we played that good of a game, and I think Vancouver played an excellent game as well, which made it the game that it was, obviously how heated it was. And what I meant by bad officiating being bookended is from the Zajac boarding to the Hall impact with Larson. That is the worst officiating I think I've ever seen in a game. That span right there. They lost control of the game in that window, and they regained it coming up on the Hall hit. And I think that's when they regained control, is at that moment. But other than that, I felt like they lost control of the game and then tried to get it back too late. I think there should have been a boarding call on that play, but I could see where there was possible confusion over whether he pushed him from the side or from the numbers. But looking back at the replay, it looks like he did catch him in the numbers, so that does make it boarding, but we can't go back and change it now. I'm sure the league is looking at everything that happened tonight and is going to address it if they take their job seriously, hopefully. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, I'm back again now making these videos, and I'm very excited to be going into the Christmas break and possibly going into next semester now that my schedule is more agreeable to making videos in the afternoons for these and for gaming videos and Twitch streams. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment what you want to see next, either here or on the subreddit link. And as always, be you, be awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.